Hey, what's going on? I'm Cantus Simmons, creator of Scholarship Success Academy, and I'm super duper irrationally passionate about helping parents and students get into college and do it on scholarship. So, in this video, I want to take some time to talk about the funding process. It's almost like a roadmap, being able to help students and parents really think about what it takes to get from point A to point B and what the process should look like. Right now, today, questions that I get the most from parents is, Cantus, how can I pay for college? How can I keep my student in college? And even have some adults and parents who want to go back to college. And so I want to give you some things that you can do from FUNDING. This is the funding process to help you answer some of the questions that you may have. So let's talk about this funding process. Funding, all right? And so I'm going to call it FUNDING. Now, I actually go more into this in my Scholarship Success Academy, but I want to break down what this funding process or this funding acronym looks like for you and your household. All right. So let's deal with the F. Let's deal with the F. Now, let me say this. I remember when it was time for me to go to college. And I often say that I was raised in a middle class broke family, right? You know about middle class broke? Nice mom, nice dad, nice green grass, but you're always broke, right? Middle class broke. And in my middle class broke family, my mom and dad, like, I don't remember us sitting down to talk about if we had the funds or if they had the funds to pay for college. The only thing I remember them saying to me was like, hey, Candace, go get good grades, go do well in school, right? However, when it got to a place when it was time to go to college, hey, we started scrambling. I started scrambling, started looking and hearing about I can go to school on scholarships. And so I learned some tricks, some tools, some techniques, met some amazing people, had some amazing favorable connections that opened up doorways for me not only to get into college that year on scholarship, but also receive two other degrees all on scholarship. And so this is why I want to break down this funding framework, because I believe that a lot of times individuals are not really sure on what they should be doing during the process. All right. So let's deal with the F. Let's deal with the F. Let's deal with the F. And the F is connected to focus on your future. Focus on your future, or focus on the future of your young person, your student, right? Now, if you think about the future, and I remember my dad told me years ago, he said, Cantus, look into the future, try to predict what the future will look like. And then now in your present, prepare for the future. And when the future becomes your present, you'll be prepared. And so, what I want you to think about is, what does the future hold for you or your son or your daughter? Like, what does the future hold? So much so that when you look into the future, it's like, what's the career? What's the position? What's the job? What's the thing that's moving you to be successful in the future, right? Maybe, do you need a technical degree? Do you need to understand sales and marketing? Do you need to understand the sciences? Like, what would you need to be? What do you need to do? And what do you need to have to be successful in the future? So I really want you to think about, right? When you focus on your future, hmm, what would be the best college to go to for your future? When you think about the future, what careers and what fields would you need to be in? I'm a big STEM guy: science, technology, engineering, and math, right? And we see the uprising, or the growth of science, technology, engineering, math, AI, all of these going on right now in our country. And so when you focus on the future, now that helps you with determining what you want to be and what you want to do. Now, here's one thing that I recommend that you do: you take an assessment, right? You write down all the things that you know that you're good at, all the things that you know that you like and you love. Take your past achievements, past awards, past passions, and you do an assessment. And then now look at this assessment and then ask yourself, huh, what will it take for me to get here? And this is why I encourage you, number one, F, to focus on your future. All right. Focus on your future. Now let's deal with the next one. Let's deal with the next letter, F, U. All right, let's deal with the next letter, U. And the next letter is this: understand the process. Understand the process. All right. Now, in understanding the process, I want you to understand the process of getting into college, getting college scholarships, doing well in college, and getting out of college, right? So, if you're going to look at the funding process and understand the process, so let's say, for example, your son or your daughter is going to the prom, right? And when they go to the prom, they have to have a prom suit. The young lady may have a prom dress. You want to make sure that the person they're going to the prom with and your dress, that they're complementing each other, and you want to make sure that the dress fits. You want to make sure that you can pay for it, right? And so, in understanding the process, understand the process of looking for a college and identifying if you're having money for the college. They actually go hand in hand. Okay. So, in part of this process, what are the colleges that are going to suit me for my future? And can I pay for these colleges? Do I have the resources and money to pay for this process, pay for this college, right? So, in understanding the process, you want to also be able to look at the program, right? So, there are some great universities all over our world, right? However, some of the universities, they have programs where they are really, really good in sciences and engineering. But let's say you want to go into business. Even though it's a great university, they have a lot of great programs in science and engineering. Or maybe you see a university that is great in business and marketing and accounting and finance, but you want to go into science and engineering, right? So, my recommendation to you as you understand the process, don't just look at a college or the university because the name on the big screen, right? I want you to consider, what are the programs, right? Will this program prepare me for my future? Will this program have the resources to support me or my son or my daughter? So, in understanding the process, you want to be able to look for the right college, but you want to also make sure that you have the money for the right college, right? So, those things go hand in hand, okay? Those things go hand in hand. So, we have F, we have U. Now, number three, we want to name, we want to name, you want to name your goal, okay? You want to name your goal. Now, I often tell people this is that when the goal is not clear, I find that you're sort of all over the place, right? And so when I say naming the goal, like, okay, we want to go to this college. However, this college, it costs this amount of money. And now, when you name your goal in the funding process, how much money do you need to pay for this college degree? Yeah, how much is the tuition? How much is the room and board? How much are the fees? Right? How much are the books and the supplies? And when you add that all up, what's that number? Now, on average, it's about $45,000 to $50,000 per year to go to college. And so, what's the goal? Have you calculated the real cost when it comes down to paying for college? Does your son or your daughter need a car? Do they need a computer? Right? What's the distance from home to school? We'll take all of that into consideration. So when we name our goal, we're not only looking at the cost of college, we're naming our goal to look at, okay, um, will this align with the things that we want to do? Will this align with our finances? Will this align with the resources that we have? Will this college have the support? Will they have the funding? Will they have the backing to support me through the process? So I want you to name your goal, right? I want you to name your goal. I want you to, put it on your phone, write it on the refrigerator, and write it in the present tense. I'm a successful graduate at boom, 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 all on scholarship. Hey, we have all the money we need, the $69,000 to fund this college education. Do you know the goal? Does the parents know the goal? Do the students know the goal? Does the dog or the cat know the goal? If you don't know the goal, I want you to encourage you, FUN, to name your goal. All right? FUND, FUND. Let's talk about the D in the funding process. The D in the funding process is to, check this out, develop your plan. Okay? Develop your plan. Now, my recommendation that I share with people that are in my Scholarship Success Academy is in developing a plan is sometimes you're going to need somebody to help you with the plan, help you with the roadmap, right? And in developing your plan, I want you to think about how you're going to pay for like college, right? So an equation that I recommend to people is GM plus OM plus YM is how we're going to come up with the money that we need to fund this college education, right? GM plus OM plus YM. Now you say, Candace, what's the GM? The GM is the government's money, right? What's your plan to get access to the government's money? They say that um, billions of dollars go unclaimed every year because students aren't applying for the federal aid, right? So to get access to the GM, hey, you need access to the federal funds. And the best way to get notified of that is through FAFSA. Okay. So you want to complete FAFSA for the GM. I got a lot of more trainings on FAFSA and how to maximize FAFSA in my Scholarship Success Academy. Also, some videos on YouTube, right? So we want to get access to the government's money, GM. And then we want to get access to other people's money, right? That's the OM. Other people's money come in the form of scholarships. Other people's money come in the form of grants. Other people's money come in the form of student loans, right? Now, of course, student loans, that's other people's money that you do have to pay back, and sometimes with interest. However, do you have a plan to get the government's money, GM, other people's money, OM, and then Y money, YM, right? GMYM, your money, savings, your investings. Like if you have to come out of pocket, do you have a plan to be able to use your money to pay the big college tuition bill? Now, check it out. If you don't have a plan, hey, you got to start developing your plan. You got to start looking at, okay, how can we maximize FAFSA? How can we maximize getting scholarships? How can we maximize the money that we have if we're saving or preparing for our future? What can we do with our money now to prepare for our kids' future? All right. So that's the FUND. D is to develop the plan. And the next one is, now that you have the plan, here's what you want to do. You want to take the time to initiate the process. Okay. You want to initiate the process. Now, what I mean by initiating the process, right? We want to start getting the GM, the OM, the YM, like taking time to go look and apply for FAFSA. Do everything that you can to show that you have need for the money. Okay. That's the GM showing you have need for the money. And then also initiating the process of beginning to locate college scholarships. Now, there are 7.25 plus ways to look for college scholarships, right? Why I say 7.25 plus, because I have 7.25 fingers, right? However, when you're locating these scholarships, that's part of initiating the process, knowing where to look, knowing what search engines to go to, knowing how to have conversations with other people that may go to that university, right? How to discover what's needed to get the scholarship, identifying how to position yourself to get the scholarship, even talking about how to stay organized. Now, maybe you're in a situation now where you're getting a lot of mail and paper and emails and stuff coming to you, right? And initiating the process, how can you stay organized when things may be overwhelming? All right. So, what I want you to do now is to begin to initiate the process of finding the free money, the process of looking for college scholarships, the process of sitting down and as a family, we are looking appropriately, having the right conversations. You want to initiate the process. All right. So we have the FUNDI, I for initiate the process. And then the next letter here, FUNDI. And then we have an N. And now what you want to do, you want to take the time to nail down scholarships. Okay. You want to nail down scholarships. Now, in nailing down scholarships, I want you to hear something and really think about it. If you don't have money for college, then your number one job should be to look for money for college. Yeah, if you don't have money for college, your number one job is to be looking for money for college. Because guess what? If you don't do the work now and you choose to go in and get your college degree, you're most likely going to have some student loan debt or being able, in a situation where you're going to have to pay that back. So now I say, pay now. I say, work now so you can pay now versus after college, you're now working to pay that back, right? I think as a country, that $1 trillion of student loan debt, right? Millions of people are battling with student loan debt. Guess what? For you, you want to nail down scholarships, right? You want to be able to position yourself, right? How can you leverage your academics? How can you leverage the activities that you participated with? How can you leverage your past accomplishments? How can you leverage the things that you want to aspire to be and to do to nail down college scholarships? Now, I tell people all the time that scholarships, it's amazing, right? Like no one really wants to buy an ugly truck. Companies and institutions, they want to invest in individuals that they can say, hey, we give this person this scholarship. We know that they're going to turn around and we're going to get our return on investment. They're going to become a great human, not only to this college, not only to this organization, but to the world. And so the idea that you want to ask yourself when you nail down scholarships, right? We can initiate the process, and then we have to nail down the scholarships by applying for the scholarships. Every single year, I have organizations emailing me, sending me a list of scholarships. And I'm like, what am I getting this for? They said, Cantus, we don't have students applying for these scholarships. I'm like, what? Free money? No, people aren't applying for a scholarship. So what you got to do is nail down the scholarship by applying. You got to nail down the scholarship by marketing yourself. You got to nail down the scholarship by going through and accepting the reward letters and doing and writing the essays, spending time putting yourself in the right places to begin to nail down those scholarships. All right. So we got the F, we got the U, we got the N, we got the D, we got the I, we got the N, and then we have the G. And the G, after you want to nail down scholarships, what you want to do is get and keep the money. Okay. Now, I had a dear friend. I'm not going to say a dear friend. I'm going to say a colleague. Actually, I'm going to say a neighbor. Right. And so I was talking to my neighbor one day. We were at the mailbox, and my neighbor was saying, hey, Cantus, we need your help. And I'm like, what's going on? I was like, well, my daughter, she had a scholarship, but she didn't do what she needed to do during those years, and she lost the scholarship. This is why it's so important that not only do you get scholarships, but you also take the time to keep scholarships. Okay? You got to keep the scholarship by understanding, what does it take to get this scholarship and what does it take to keep the scholarship? Is this a 1-year award? Is this a 4-year award? What's the GPA that I'm going to have to maintain? Are there any outside things that I'm going to have to do to maintain and keep the scholarship? You want to get the scholarship, be able to keep it, right? Having the discipline to get things done. Now, one of the things too that go along with getting scholarships and keeping the money is that once you get one scholarship, being able to leverage that scholarship into other scholarships, especially if maybe you're in college right now, you don't have all the money you need for the 4 or 5 years. Let's say you get one scholarship, two scholarships, a few things working for you. How can you keep that scholarship and then now leverage that scholarship to get more college scholarships? This funding process is something that I want to make sure that you understand. So now, as you're going through this process, wherever you may be, maybe you're a high school student, maybe you're the parent of a high school student, maybe your student is currently in college, maybe you are an adult and you want to go back to college. This funding process, funding, this will be step by step by step what you want to focus on. Okay, so just a recap real quick. Number one, you want to focus on your future, right? Focus on your future. Number two, you want to understand the process. Number three, you want to name your goal. D, you want to develop your plan. You want to initiate the process of looking and knowing what to search for scholarships. I often encourage people to have scholarship nights, scholarship dates. This is where the entire family get together, and now we can go look for these college scholarships. Initiate the process, and then we got to nail down the scholarships, right? We got to apply. We got to complete the essays. We got to write the essays. We got to make sure we go in to market ourselves. Funding, and then now we want to get and keep the money. We want to make sure that we are spending time doing the work inside the classroom to make sure we can be able to take care of it. All right. Hopefully, this was helpful for you. Now, listen, guess what? After hearing this video, you have three options from now. You got three options. Option number one, take everything you just heard, take everything you just saw. Option number one, do absolutely nothing. Yeah, just watch this video, scroll on, keep going on with your life, and do absolutely nothing. Or you can take everything that you heard and you say, you know what, Candace, this was really, really good. Thank you. And go try to do it yourself, right? You can go do it, DIY it, right? Go do it yourself. Option number two. And option number three, I would actually invite you to do it with me in Scholarship Success Academy. Now, this is an opportunity where I go into details with you and your family, helping you with the process to not only go through the funding process, but showing you how to maximize um, your federal aid with FAFSA, showing you what colleges are the best fit for you and your student, talking about how to locate scholarships, showing you the 7+ different places to search for scholarships and the apps and the conversations and giving you script word for word for word on what to say when applying for these scholarships, showing you how to write your essays so you stand out to real people, and then showing you behind the scenes what it's going to take as an amazing student to not only get scholarships, but to keep scholarships and position yourself for your future careers and job. And I would love to invite you to participate in Scholarship Success Academy. Now, if you click down below, you're going to see some links down there that's going to lead you into the workshops and the academy that we have to help you locate, land, and lock down college funding. And I believe that the best way to do that is through getting other people's money in the form of scholarship. So listen, click the link down below, check out what we have down below, and I want to make sure and give you an invitation to take a ride with me through this scholarship success lifestyle, because at the end of the day, I know how it feels when I look at my mom and my dad and they don't have to pay any student loan debt, right? We're not paying any money back for degrees that I got years ago. And I want that to become your reality. And I want to encourage you, if you don't have money for college, your number one goal should be looking for money for college. Go ahead and spend this time in this season in your life and your family's life to find that money for college, so we're not prolonging this. And then this now becomes an irritant to irritating us for the next 10 to 20 years. All right. Listen, I'm Kenton Simmons, the coolest guy with 7.25 fingers. And remember this, there's only one game in life that counts, and that's your A game. Listen, click the link down below to get access to our workshops at the Scholarship Success Academy. And we would love to be able to help you map out a plan to fund the big college tuition bill. Hey, talk to you soon. Click the link, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. All right, bye-bye.